Good evening, everyone. I am Haley Thornton, and today I will be presenting you all with two strategies from my Science of Reading teaching portfolio. So, the two strategies that I will be presenting you all with today are first, phonics instruction strategies and vocabulary instruction strategies. So, first, I will be talking about my phonics instruction strategy, and my focused age or grade level for this strategy would be kindergarten, first grade, since phonics instruction is typically presented to kindergarten and first grade and early grades in schools. But for today specifically, I'll be just talking about first grade. And the title of my article was called Creative Phonics, a Strategy for Teaching Literacy in Vernacular Languages in Elementary Schools by Eunice Wachtok. So the word that stood out to me in this title was vernacular. What is vernacular? In case you all don't know, vernacular is the first language of the students, their first spoken language, depending on the country or region that they are from. So for me, as an example, I am from the United States, so my first language would be English. But for a student who may be from Mexico or another region of the earth, their language may be Spanish or so forth and so forth. But with this article, it talked about creative phonics. Creative phonics involving hearing, saying, seeing, and writing model. So I will repeat those words for you: hearing, saying, seeing, and writing. And these all appeal to the senses. You have students hearing the graphemes or the phonemes. You hear them saying the phonemes. They are saying the phonemes. You have them visually see the phoneme and the grapheme that represents the phoneme, and you have them writing. So the students are engaging in phonics in 4 different ways. And this is used to teach phonogram sounds using phonogram count charts. So to refresh your memory, phonograms are basically the graphemes used to represent the phonemes. It is a symbol used to represent the sounds that you hear. And so I will read you all some benefits from this creative phonics approach that the article discussed. It says results indicate that when elementary teachers started using creative phonics strategies to teach sounds and building words, children were able to read at an early age. They were able to say the sounds of the letters in either vernacular or English. Children were able to form words and write short sentences or phrases to form a simple sentence. It was fun and enjoyable. Teachers also enjoyed teaching children sounds and word building. So this approach, it is very engaging. It allows students to interact with phonograms in several different ways. They are being exposed to it in several different ways by hearing it, saying it, seeing it, and writing it. And also, the passage states, those who integrated the creative phonics strategies hear, say, see, and write expressed that it was the best method to use to teach phonics either in vernacular or English. So in other words, this approach not only works for the students who are proficient in English, but this method and strategy works for students who are learning English as well. So I think it is also important to know that when you have English language learners in your class, it is first best to see, okay, what can the students do in their vernacular language or their first language. If students are able to do certain activities and strategies in their first language, then you should begin to slowly incorporate and change over to English. My final strategy that I'll be presenting and discussing with you all will be my vocabulary strategy. And my focus group for this particular strategy, I would say, would be 3rd grade or 4th grade. The title of my article was Exploring Self-Regulated Vocabulary Learning Strategies, Proficiency, Working Memory, and Vocabulary Learning Through Word-Focused Exercises. And this particular article was by Mark Frank Ting, and based off the title, I want to focus on word-focused exercises. So basically, this will be our strategy for vocabulary instruction. We are going to particularly discuss word-focused exercises. So what does that mean? Well, word-focused exercises, what it is exercises that particularly focuses on the vocabulary words. So these exercises could be having students compose stories, but the stories have to include vocabulary words. This could be creating word walls. This could also be matching words and definitions. So these are all strategies that could be engaging, but it also works so that students will have proficiency and working memory when it comes to learning vocabulary words. So I will read a sentence from the article. The article states, our research thus confirms the benefits of word-focused exercises, particularly sentence writing with target words for enhancing vocabulary learning, but also highlights that learner-related variables, self-regulated capacity L2 proficiency, which is students who are learning a second language, and working memory need to be considered in order to maximize the effectiveness of word-focused exercises. So in other words, we want to make sure that students have a basic understanding of certain words in their vernacular language before we automatically just introduce them to English words. We want to make sure that students are showing a proficiency in their first language.